what?
Go Huskies!
Huh?
Go Huskies!
Gentlemen, welcome to another exciting night of Huskies baseball. It's Superior JC's night. Yes, the JCs are here, the Rotary Club, Famous Dave's. We've got a barbecue going. We've got free tickets to see James Taylor at the deck. Come on and sign up and enjoy a great night of baseball with Cool 101.7.
Arthur Crudup in the original That's All Right Mama. There now, you can say that you heard it. Hey, Billy, baby! A new look, and you've heard a new sound.
And now throwing out the first pitch for tonight's ball game, please welcome Greg Toon, the general manager of Famous Dave's Canal Park, and Ron Orlandi, who played for the 1953 Superior Blues and the 1954 Duluth Huskies.
Hey, did you just give me the finger? Oh, it's that finger. Wow, it's that finger.
Yeah, I'm down to one finger, but now I got to take medicine because it's infected. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little kid thing.
Okay, Glenn, what exactly is he doing now?
Twisting the cone around. It's really hard.
It's hard?
Yeah. You have to twist it the right way and everything.
So there's a cotton candy earth.
Yep.
Alright, fans, it's time to get our contest started tonight. We're going to start with the Superior Santa Shootout. We've got our goalie, our guest goalie tonight, Pastor Scott Brown, who's going to attempt to stop every one of our contested shots down here, Dave Podratz. If Dave can score 5 goals in 30 seconds, he will take home a great prize, courtesy of the Duluth Huskies. You guys ready to go? Ready. Here we go. On once, get set, go!
couple of special guests on the average, guys. First of all, let me say, John, where are you? My partner, Johnny D's not here, so you guys get just me to ask the questions. First of all, Bernie Gerl, former Duluth Duke, and Ron Orlandi, former Superior Blue.
Right.
Well, guys, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Ron, let's start with you. Talk about your early days getting into baseball and then playing with Superior and playing on this field at one time.
Sure. Well, you know, right out of high school is when most of us got started, and I was sent, assigned by the Washington Senators and sent down to Emporia, Virginia to play for them. Then they shipped me to other places during the next few years. So I've been around since 1948.
And then you played with the Superior Blues when? I
played with the Superior Blues after being in the Korean War in 1953.
And what position did you play primarily?
I was a catcher.
You were? Okay.
Right.
Well, Bernie, that leads to my next question. You were, talk about your baseball career. You were a catcher as well, weren't you?
I was a catcher, too. We had one difference. I was blind then. I wore glasses then.
Yeah, he did. That's right.
Well, in fact, I understand I was the first catcher to wear glasses in professional baseball. I don't know that to be a fact, but that's what I hear.
Well, Saturday morning, July 24th, 1948.
Yes, I just celebrated the 58th anniversary of that event. I don't know if I celebrated, but I recalled it. And that day, my kids come over to the house, and I said, "Do you guys know what today is?" And they said, "Yes, we sure do, Dad." And it brought back memories. And at this point, I do believe that I am one of only two survivors, and the other one, as far as I know, still being alive, is Joe Svetlik, who lives out in California. And I had been in touch with all of them through all these years until they all kept passing away one at a time. The last being Don Gilmore, and prior to that, Red Shandies, and then prior to him, Mel McGahey.
For our viewers, we're talking about the July 12th, 1948, a fiery bus crash with the Duluth Dukes baseball team on board. You were traveling from Eau Claire to St. Cloud, or?
That's right. We were traveling from Eau Claire to St. Cloud, and I can remember that I was awake and alert because Sam Patich, who was from St. Paul, told me, "Bernie, I live down this street a little bit." And from what I understand, the accident happened just very shortly after that.
Your manager, George Treadwell, was the driver of the bus.
George was the driver of the bus. He shared the driving responsibilities with Peterson, but they both paid for their lives with that wreck.
You still live in Duluth?
Yes, I do. I live in Duluth. I'm really most of my career is in Superior, Wisconsin, where I taught art and also coached baseball for approximately 29 years.
And again, we're with former baseball legends, Ron Orlandi and Bernie Gerl. Bernie, after baseball, what type of work did you get involved with?
My brother was working for Coca-Cola, and he said, "Come on, Bernie, I'll get you a job." And he got me a job with Coke. I was a helper on a truck delivering Coke. 5 years later, he was working for me, and 38 years later, I retired from the Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Chicago as vice president. And I never did move from Joliet, which was a suburb of Chicago.
What about back when Coke tried that new recipe? Maybe back in the 80s? I don't recall when it was. Do you recall, were you working with the company back then?
I sure was.
Was that a big mistake?
Well, I'll tell you what it did. They tried to rejuvenate Coca-Cola, the Coca-Cola business. And when they put out new Coke, it was rejected so soundly that everybody demanded Coca-Cola back, and it gave Coca-Cola a big, big boost.
So it was a PR move?
It was it worked out that way, but I didn't believe it was planned that way.
And where's home today, Bernie?
Still in Joliet, in the same house I got married in.
Huh. You ever get out to see a Jackhammers game?
I sure do. Saw one this year, and we see quite a few Jackhammers games.
Bernie, if you could talk about just a few memories from your days with the Dukes, some of the maybe special games, special events, things with maybe some of the fans.
Oh, there's a lot of things that happened. I was just telling my friend here that there's one thing happened to me in this park that I've never seen happen in baseball, and I don't know if anybody even had an opportunity to have it happen. I caught 3 pop flies in 1 inning, and I don't know anybody even had an opportunity to do that. That's 3 outs in 1 inning.
As a catcher?
As a catcher.
Now, I understand that there's a photograph of you taking out Roger Maris at home plate.
Yes, I've got that photograph at home.
Where was that photograph taken? Where was that at?
It was taken in Duluth here.
It was?
Yes, and
okay, well,
it's got to be in their archive somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just as plain as could be. Roger Maris is just a little old quiet farm boy. I used to be very talkative as a catcher, and I couldn't get much of a word out of Maris. He was a very quiet individual.
What years did you play for the Dukes?
I played in 48, 52, and 53.
Okay. Ron, I don't recall if you were with the Blues when they... You weren't here when they played the first game at Wade Stadium, were you?
Yeah, I think I was. I was. Now, I met the team... Actually, I met the team in Eau Claire from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, when they shipped me up there, and then we came up here. So I'm not sure if that was the first series at all. It's very possible that it was not the first series, but I always thought it was. See?
Now you wearing a New York Mets hat, and that's not a Southern Minnesota accent you have.
I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, and I still consider that kind of my hometown, and I go back every year so I don't lose my accent.
Well, guys, I'm going to ask you, as young kids growing up, who were some of your baseball heroes? And Ron, I'll start with you.
Yeah, with me, I was a Brooklyn Dodger fan, and of course, you know all about Pee Wee Reese and Frankie Robinson and Gil Hodges and all Duke Snyder and so on and so forth. You know, they were part of my young baseball life.
Bernie?
You wouldn't believe it, but I go back to the Big Bambino, and I remember when he come to Joliet the first year after he retired. And he'd come and put on an exhibition, and he still could power the ball. And then on top of that, we had the Chicago Cubs when they were winning baseball team, but they haven't been since.
Well, I sure wish my partner Johnny D was here, because Johnny's a huge baseball historian, baseball card collector and what have you. He'd love to be here, but he's not. Guys, thanks so much for your time. Bernie, it's good to see you.
Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, all right. Bernie Gerl. Ron Orlandi. Thanks, Ron. Guys,
you're welcome.
We'll be right back with a hockey player, Sean Hill.
How you doing?
Good. So, last time you played hockey, was it Florida?
Florida, yeah.
Yeah. And you and I were talking earlier. What's your situation now?
I am now a free agent. I was bought out by Florida in late June, and now I'm kind of just talking to a few teams and seeing what we might be able to get figured out for the fall.
So you're just out here hanging at a Huskies game at Wade Stadium in the summertime?
Yeah, I love coming to these games. You know, it's always fun to see a game out here at the Wade, especially, you know, I love to see outdoor baseball, and, you know, it's fun to see the kids amateur baseball, and, you know, kids are out here having fun, you know, great crowds, good weather, so it's fun for everybody.
You went to East High School, went on to Wisconsin, played your college hockey there, and then was drafted by the Montreal Canadiens. You played in the Olympics as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did in the 92 Olympics in Albertville, France.
And your coach was?
Dave Peterson.
Okay, all right,
yeah.
All right. What about your youth days here in Duluth, Sean, growing up? Where did you play your youth hockey at?
I played for Glen Avon, was my home rink, and then I played Stewart's Pee-wees and Stewart's Bantams. Back then that was the name of the traveling team in East Duluth, and played for both of those teams before going on to play for Duluth East.
Who were some of your coaches back in those during that time?
Glenn Stevens was one of my coaches. Art McLeod, Terry Johnson, and Roger Conley.
Okay.
Were my coaches along the way. Probably Terry Johnson was a coach that was he kind of moved up each level with us, and he was a coach who had a big influence on me when I was a real young age.
You know, Sean, you're currently the only player in the NHL listed with the hometown as Duluth, Minnesota.
Yeah, that's true. You know, we got Jamie Langenbrenner from Cloquet, who a lot of us in Duluth will try and claim him so we can have one more from Duluth. But yeah, I currently am the only one, and you know, we're looking for the next one to come out of here.
Kids, there you go. Maybe some of you guys up in Marshall, Central, Denfeld. Someone's got to carry the torch when Sean Hill leaves the NHL, which, you know, getting closer to that day. Has the Wild called you? Has there been any negotiations going on there?
We talked to the Wild a little bit before they ended up signing another defenseman, and if they hadn't signed him, maybe there would have been a chance, but you never know. That's all hearsay now.
Yeah. One final question, I'll let you go. The Carolina Hurricanes, Stanley Cup champions. You watched the playoffs. Dwayne Rollison picked up by Edmonton late in the season and did exactly what they'd hoped that he would do, get them into the playoffs, and in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup, he gets injured. Do you think Dwayne might have been a difference in that series?
I think he could have been. I think they played real good, but as well as they could have played, I think. I think the better team won, but I can't recall who it was that went in for him. Was it Markkanen or UC Markkanen?
Yeah, Ty Conklin came in immediately after he went out, and then Markkanen
took being the starter after that. Yeah. I was just glad to see that Markkanen didn't lose a series for him. Obviously he didn't win the series for him, but he wasn't the reason why they lost, and I think that was, that was kind of comforting to see that, because you'd hate to see a kid come in off the bench in an opportunity like that and fall flat on his face and be the reason they lost. I don't think he was the reason they lost. He gave him a chance to win, which is, I think is all you can ask for when a backup comes in a situation like that.
You were with Carolina when they made their run to the Stanley Cup against Detroit in, 02?
Yeah, 02.
Did you think at that time that maybe there was still a chance that they could do this, and here finally they did it in 06?
Yeah, I did. Once it was a lot of different parts on the team, this past year that won, but I just think that they did the best job of assembling a team for the new rules. They saw what the game was going to be like before we had played again, in the summer that the lockout ended, and they made a lot of good signings, and their team played the best style for the new game.
I thought Carolina, you just look at the way that they finally got to the Stanley Cup. They were down 2-0 early in the quarterfinals, battled back against Buffalo. Any guys on that team that you talked to or you kept in touch with, Carolina?
Yeah, I got a lot of real good friends on that team. Rod Brindamore, Glenn Wesley, Eric Cole, Brett Hedican, Kevin Adams. These are all guys that I played with and went to the finals in 02 with. And, it was great to see him win. I was there for Game 5 and Game 7. And, anytime you see your good friends out there battling like that and get rewarded for their hard work, it's nice to see.
Sean Hill, hope to see you in a NHL uniform at least this upcoming season. Follow your career, and thanks so much for your time.
All right, I appreciate the support.
Robbie Price. Robbie, you're from Kansas?
Yes, sir.
And what do you think of our Kansas-like weather up here in Duluth?
It's pretty cool right now. I mean, I like the weather. It hasn't been too bad.
I'm going to ask you a real hard question. Where did you go to college last year, and be honest?
I didn't go. I just graduated high school at Lawrence, so I'll be going to Kansas University next year.
Kansas University. So you're just out of high school?
Yes, sir.
What's your impression with not only Duluth, the city, and the fans, but this baseball team so far?
I mean, we have a great fan support in the city. We're on a good hot streak right now. I think we're 21-3, and hopefully we can keep on continuing this. And fans have been great so far.
I've talked to a lot of your teammates on previous shows. I'll ask you some of the same questions I've asked them. Growing up as a youngster, who were your baseball heroes?
I looked up to my older brothers. I mean, I've always watched them play growing up, and I just look up to them.
Big win tonight, 4-0 over the second place team, Mankato. You're now 7.5 games up on them. I'm not a betting man, but I bet you're going to be in this. You're going to win this second half, and you're going to play Thunder Bay with the playoffs starting in Thunder Bay.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can wrap this up as soon as possible and just rest a few of our pitchers, and when Thunder Bay comes around, be ready to play.
I want to ask you, if you could just look at a couple of guys, a couple of plays, a couple of series maybe throughout this second half that has really helped the team and kind of propelled you to this spot.
I mean, Brock Bond, he's been our guy hitting-wise and clutching up with big timely hits. And, I mean, he's been the guy just to get us going usually. And then on the mound, Mike Nissen and Andy Marks have been doing awesome this second half. And they're just, every time they go on the mound, it seems like we have a chance to win. And just early on, I mean, we got off to such a great start out of the gates. I mean, I think it was 11-0. I mean, right out of the gates, that helped out a lot.
Kids, Robbie Price is right out of high school, and he's playing in the Northwoods League. What do you got to say to the kids out there?
Just have fun when you play.
Robbie Price, thanks, man. Tim Murphy. Tim, big win tonight, 4-0 over Mankato, second place team. I'm not a betting man like I was telling Ryan Price or Robbie Price, but I'd bet you guys are going to be in the second half playoff.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think if we win tomorrow night and we get Alexandria to lose, I think we clinch it there. But I think we got our magic numbers down to 4, and then with the win tonight, I think it's 2, something like that. So yeah, I mean, especially the way we're playing right now, I don't see that, but we won't. So
currently, you're enrolled at UCLA. How did you get hooked up with the Huskies?
I was out in Florida last year, and I guess Coach Parra was down there watching a perfect game event out there, and he saw me there and talked to my head coach at UCLA and wanted me last year, but I was unable to come out last year, but definitely signed this year, and so I'm out here now. So,
is there a big difference between college ball and this level of ball?
I mean, pitching's pretty much. I mean, it's pretty same. I mean, it's just I feel more of the younger guys here. More of the older guys kind of go to the Cape and other leagues like that. And I mean, obviously the biggest difference is hitting with wood. So that makes a huge difference. I mean, there's guys that got aluminum bat swings and wood swings, so it takes a little adjustment there. But other than that, I think it's pretty close to college ball.
Well, let me ask you about that. How big of an adjustment is that coming from an aluminum bat to a wood bat and then having to go back to an aluminum bat?
I've always loved hitting with wood. If I had my choice, I'd hit with wood every day. If you can hit with the wood bat, you can definitely hit with the aluminum bat. So some guys have aluminum bat swings, kind of long swing stuff like that, and they can get away with the lighter bat. And with the wood bat, I mean, you can't do that. You don't get as much cheap hits off the end of the barrel or jam hits. I mean, bats will break here with wood, and so I mean, I love the game of baseball much better with the wood bat. It's much more true. So yeah.
We're with Husky Tim Murphy. Tim, where's home? Where did you grow up at?
I grew up in San Diego County, which in a city called Vista, California. So it's close.
You're a California kid?
Oh yeah, yeah. So
growing up as a youngster, baseball heroes?
Love Steve Finley. Still probably one of my favorite players. I don't know. I'm starting to like Chase Utley. He's got that hitting streak going, and he's a UCLA guy. So
is he?
Yeah, he went to UCLA. So. Yeah, he's getting up there, so I'm following after him now too. So
Tim Murphy, we're looking forward to the Huskies winning this second half, going to the championship, to the playoffs, and winning it here. You know, if the Huskies win this, I've got a deal with Bobby that I'm going to lose some hair if you guys win the championship.
Yeah, I was up late one night, and the show came on, Average Guys. So I saw it on that. So
all right.
So we'll see if we can win it for you.
Tim, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, man.
Thank you.
What is your name?
Justin.
And your name?
Logan.
All right, guys. Thanks. I'm going to slide in here and talk with. I'm going to talk with Chris Nash. Big win tonight, Chris. 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th, 4-0 over the second place team. You guys are heading to Thunder Bay.
Yeah, man. You know, we would go to Thunder Bay. You know, they're like a rivalry for us. So you know, we gotta go there, take care of business, everything. So do what we can to continue the streak going. Try to win the championship here.
So home for you is St. Louis?
Correct. St. Louis, Missouri, out of Chesterfield.
Are you a Cardinals fan?
Big Cardinals fan. Albert Pujols fan is my favorite player.
All right.
Love him.
So I'm sure you've been to what we can say now Old Busch Stadium.
Correct. Yeah, I miss it actually. Yeah. I like the Old Busch Stadium better than the new one.
What about the days back when Mark McGuire was there and his chase for 61, and then what did he end up with, 70 plus? Him and Sammy in what, 98?
Exactly. What a great atmosphere it was. I had the chance to go to all those games in that series, actually to be there and saw Mark McGuire hit that last home run there. It was a great atmosphere and a great chance to be there.
Now you were drafted in the what year draft?
2006-2007 draft by the Cleveland Indians in the 25th round. Picked up as a first baseman.
But you have to maintain your NCAA eligibility to play in this league, so you've got to wait to talk to them.
Correct. I had to wait to the end of actually this Norfolk season to talk to them again.
Yeah.
To see what's going on.
How tall are you, man?
6'4".
I feel short standing next to you, Chris.
You know.
Well, it's been fun watching you. The season's not over. We got a few regular season games, and then we go to Thunder Bay for that first playoff game, and then we come back here for hopefully just one, and we can take care of that. You know, I got a deal going with Bobby. If you guys win the championship, I'm going to lose some hair.
Okay. It's a good deal, man. You know, we're just going to just take care of business. That's what we're going to do. You know, we have a great team, great pitching staff, you know. This team is so good that, you know, we get past the 8th inning we're in the lead. I got a strong feeling we're going to come out on top because our pitching staff is a great pitching staff.
Chris, what's your impression of this stadium, this field, the atmosphere here at Wade Stadium?
The atmosphere here is just unbelievable. I mean, coming out here tonight, having over 3,000 people is just, you know, it's just a wonderful wonderful thing, you know, to come out to support us. You know, we just have a good season. You know, we do our thing, we get a lot of people coming out.
How much has Dave Para and the coaching staff helped you?
Oh man, they're all over us, man. So you know, they kick our butts every day by pushing us. You know, that's what we do.
All right. Chris Nash, thanks so much. See you in the championship game.
All right, man.
All right.
We'll be there.
All right.
All right, man.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Tim Poydenis.
Yep.
Tim, we talked to you last year, and you're currently staying with Wheezy.
Oh, yeah. She's right back there, actually.
How's Wheezy?
She's doing great. You can hear her at every game, whether she's in the stands or in the kennel club. So.
Does she cook for you?
Oh, all the time.
Does she?
Yeah, she's the
All
best.
right. All right.
Takes care of me real well.
So your mom and your grandpa are here as well.
Yeah, they're right back there right now.
Yeah. Big win tonight over the second place team.
Yeah.
What's the feeling in the clubhouse?
We're hot right now, and we're having fun. We're playing loose, which is the biggest thing. No one's nervous. No one's nervous to mess up, and everyone's just playing hard, and everyone's skills coming out right now, which is the best part.
We've got someone here. We're going to get up here. Come here, Mom.
Come here, Mom.
Come here, Mom.
Mommy.
Come here. All right. Timmy Poydenis' mom. How's it going, Mom?
Fine, thank you.
So are you living in Florida?
Yes, down in Florida.
All right.
Here for the weekend.
Is it starting to feel kind of cold right now, to you?
It's freezing. And this is Timmy's grandfather,
Gramps.
George.
All right. How you doing?
Good.
Real
good.
What do you think? What do you think of Timmy's play?
I'll tell you, it's a great game tonight. A real great. These guys can play the game well.
Well, you know, the first half didn't go as planned. 17-17. Thunder Bay won that first half, but you guys came out of the starting gates in the second half. Went like 11-0.
Yeah.
And really haven't looked back. If you could look at some of the key things, maybe the pitching staff. What is it that's kind of been the?
It's a little bit of everything. In the first half, we had pitching, defense, and offense, and none of them were meshing well at the same time. And now, throughout the entire second half, everyone's been doing their job, getting the job done. When the hitters aren't doing well, the pitching and defense picking us up, and vice versa with the hitting, picking up defense and pitching.
So when you go back to school, where do you go to school at?
I'm actually going to Villanova for my junior and senior. I went to junior college next year.
So will you be back here next year, Tim?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
There's a chance. I got one more year left.
You're eligible.
Yep.
Okay.
Eligible for one more.
All right. Email the average guys and tell them how much you want Tim Poydenis back on the team.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Timmy, thank you.
Yep.
Got another Husky, Mike Nissen. Mike, you're over the pitching staff.
Yep.
You're from Nebraska?
Yep. No, University of Nebraska in Omaha is where I was born, so not too far from home.
No, there's a couple other guys on this team from Nebraska.
Yeah, Steve Edlifson, Nick Sullivan, and Charlie Sherrick.
So you guys are teammates?
Yes, we are.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah.
How'd you get hooked up with the Huskies?
Our pitching coach at Nebraska, Coach Bingham, knows the coaches up here, and he just got us lined up with these coaches, so we got up here.
Huge win tonight. I'll tell you, after the first half, you guys were, 17-17,
Yep.
and you started the second half, 11-0?
Yeah.
And here you are on the verge of winning the second half and playing in Thunder Bay, and Thunder Bay's kind of falling on some tough luck right now. How do you feel? How's the clubhouse?
We're all pretty go-lucky right now, being 22-3 and playing real strong, and knowing that Thunder Bay's not playing real well at all. So we have a feeling that if we get to the first round of playoffs, we can knock them out in 2 games and then go from there into the finals.
On the internet site, I found that you played basketball and football in high school as well?
Yes, I did.
And baseball is
number 1.
It is?
Yeah.
All right.
I just played basketball for just to stay in shape, and football just because everybody else did it. So, and then baseball was always what I wanted to do.
And where's home?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
Actually, a little town, Ralston, but nobody knows where that is.
Well, we're going to be keeping our eye on you up and through the playoffs, and I've been telling all the guys, and I'll say it again: if you guys win the championship, I got a thing with Bobby. If you guys win, I'm going to lose some hair.
Well, hopefully you lose hair then.
All right. Thanks so much, Mike Nissen. And who do we have here?
Steve Edlifson.
Steve. All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Steve. You want to just step right over here?
Sure will.
Let me get my notes here so I know what we got going. Steve, you're the guy from Bloomington, Minnesota.
Yes, I am.
All right. And right now you're playing college as well at Nebraska.
Yep.
So you and
yeah, I've gotten to know this in the last year. We're teammates, pretty good friends.
You had Tommy John surgery?
Yes, I did. I had it on my elbow my sophomore year of college, and I was at a junior college in Kansas, and I had this surgery done then.
Successful?
Very successful.
Yeah.
My elbow feels great. My velocity's back. My arm feels good. So
I've heard that after that surgery, actually your arm gets stronger.
Yes. Well, they say it's about 95% chance you'll come back at 100% what you were at before, and you know, there's a pretty good chance that you can even be throwing harder because you basically have a new elbow.
Yeah. You were selected by the Boston Red Sox in the draft?
Yeah, after my freshman year, junior college, I was selected in the 41st round by Boston.
How is that? Waiting around, waiting for a phone call, or were you watching the draft and finally it happens? What type of excitement?
It was exciting.
Yeah.
You know, I actually was listening to it on the internet. They have a live internet deal, and when I got that call from the scout that drafted me, you know, it was a pretty cool feeling.
Now, being that you're in this league, there's criteria. You can't have an agent. You can't do anything until after you're done with school.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. We can't have very much contact with an advisor or an agent until, you know, after our collegiate eligibility is over.
So when that's over, you're going to try out with the Red Sox?
No. Well, it depends. They had my rights for a year, and I didn't end up signing with them. I turned down a contract and decided to stay in school, and you know, it just depends on. I'm eligible for the next year's draft again, so the team has your rights for a year, and then they lose your rights.
Did the Twins call?
No, well, I was on a few draft boards. The Twins were one draft board. The Boston just selected me first.
Bloomington Jefferson High School, huh?
Yep.
How was your hockey team when you went to school?
We were pretty good. I played hockey in high school also. And
you did?
Yeah, I played hockey and baseball. I decided to focus on baseball about my sophomore year, but I grew up playing hockey.
When did you graduate from school?
2003.
Okay. So, boy, I'll tell you, the history of Bloomington Jefferson in the high school hockey tournament is well known. I go back to '95 when they were favorites to beat Duluth East, and Duluth East beat them 5-0 in the opening round of the playoffs.
Well, when I played Banameys, Puyays growing up, we always had Duluth East number, but it's always fun to come up here and play in the coldest arena in America at Freiburger, and I remember that we had some good battles with Duluth East.
All right. Steve Edlifson, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And we got the playoffs coming.
Sounds good to me.
All right, thanks.
Yep, no problem. Nice to meet you.
Hello, sit down here and you're watching The Average Guys.
Here we are at Lola's Coffee House Express with Lola herself and Joey Bonadonna. And what are we unveiling today for the viewers out there watching public access television?
Well, we're doing a meet and greet with the Huskies here today from 12 to 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what brings the people out here? There's been a new drink named after one of the Huskies cult icons.
We have the Bonadonna frappaccino.
And
it's an iced coffee drink.
And now, how do you know Joey? How did this all come about to name a drink in his honor?
My friends, Mike and Kate Beatty, are Joey's host family.
Okay. And Joey, how does it feel to be out here having a drink named in your honor?
It's awesome. I mean, this is one of the first things that's like this ever happened. So I'm just really happy. It's cool.
But when you
kind of starstruck a little bit, just I don't know. Everyone, the guys on the team are all giving me a little grief about it, but it's cool.
So when you came to Duluth last year for the first time, and you know now this is your second season playing in Duluth. Coming here, did you have any expectations, or is this beyond your wildest expectation, becoming sort of a little star in and of itself in Duluth?
Well, I mean, this is it's definitely beyond what I expected. I mean, I knew coming in that I'm going to have second year guy, going to be a leader, and going to have to show guys around. And you know, last year, I mean, I thought I was pretty well liked by everybody, and you know, I just wanted to be like that again, and this has just been really cool.
All right. And Lola, now you're down here on Central Avenue out here in West Duluth, down where the construction is.
Right off the construction.
How long's Lola's been open? And
just since November.
Since November?
Yeah, so about 8-9 months now.
And what separates Lola's from any other place out there, in your opinion?
Well, you know, I'm just not your typical coffee house. You know, there's nothing up north and rustic here. It's very modern. We got the shoe chair, and we got the drive-through, so it's been great. It's been doing very well.
All right. And Joey, now, after this season, are you done with the Huskies now, or?
Well, after this, I'll still have 2 years of eligibility for a college league left, so I mean, hopefully I can come back. I want to, and if Coach Parrott lets me, make it a third summer.
Look at that. My daughter's smiling. She overheard that. My daughter has a crush on Joey, so...
I think most of the girls do.
And that's what's so great about the Northwoods League is the fact that Joey comes here, and I really have to say the Huskies have done their PR as far as promoting the team, but the media's really picked up on it, and it's great to see sort of somebody come out and become sort of, like I say, a local icon in this community.
He is.
All right. And thanks, Lola.
Thank you very much.
The average guys, I tell you what, I had my Bonadonna frappaccino, and I'm wired out. Joey, thanks a lot. Thank you. We'll be right back. Okay, and we're back with Coach Dave Parra and the coaching staff. Dave, could you introduce these gentlemen here and tell us exactly what they do for the team?
You got Stephen Boo-Ray Adams, hitting coach extraordinaire over here from Abbeville, Louisiana. You got Coach Daniel Hersey, pitching coach from Key West, Florida. And Coach Adam Stahl from St. Louis, Missouri, a veteran of the Northwoods League, and kind of does everything. He's all three ways he can help fielding, hitting, and pitching. So we're fortunate to have everybody.
Well, that could mean the jack of all trades, masters of none.
Absolutely. I think that you can name them better. When we announce them at the game tonight, that's what we'll do.
It's the Key West connection.
So far this season, the second half, I mean, is this everything you guys envisioned as a coaching staff, or have you been pressing the fundamentals and just everything else, and these guys have taken it to another level?
These guys are just playing well. I mean, they're doing everything right. We can really pitch it, we can hit it, and we can field it. I mean, you've got all three aspects of the game working pretty much every night, and honestly, I don't think we're playing that great right now. I don't think we're playing our best baseball, so as a coach, you're excited that we could possibly reach another level, but right now we're doing enough to win games.
Well, like now, teaching the art of hitting to these young kids. I mean, you're not too old yourself there. Where did you get your hitting background from to try to teach these kids how to hit?
I've had two really good coaches when I played. John Cohen, who's now at University of Kentucky, and Coach Mitch Gaspard, who's at Northwestern State. Those guys all been around the SEC, and John Cohen's a guy that's kind of pioneered. He's doing some different things now with some new techniques and stuff like that, and a lot of people are taking off with it. And I was just fortunate to be around him, as a young guy, as a freshman, sophomore, and actually remember and take in some of that stuff.
Well, what kind of techniques? I mean, back in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, you had Charlie Law, Walter Eniak, teaching to swing down at the ball and level it off. What makes sense?
It's all basically the same thing. Everybody gets to the same point. It's just, how you get to it. He goes into more statistics and, different stuff like that, like our, early in the count, late in the count, how leadoff walks, do certain things, just, just approach to the baseball game.
Okay.
John, I'm kind of curious, who's the pitching coach? Pitching coach. You got a heck of a pitching staff. You look up and down the pitching staff, and how did you assemble this? Is this because I know some of the guys that were here are gone, and I just talked to a guy that was here today for the first. He just got here.
Well, I didn't really assemble anything. Coach Parra assembled all of it, so I just kind of inherited all that stuff like that. But we got a really good group of guys here that really buy into the system, and they really come from great programs like Nebraska, Elon, all that stuff like that, and Kansas. They're taught well at D1 schools. So I just kind of have to just keep them in place, and every once in a while tweak a couple things that they're having trouble with. But other than that, I mean, they're pretty much here, and they know what to do.
Coach Parra, big crowd last night. I think the biggest crowd of the season. John, that game was over in 1 hour and 39 minutes. I think all the runs were scored. We had one run, and we scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning, and then it was fun last night.
Yeah, it was quick. I looked over to Coach Stahl, and I'm like, what time is it in the 9th inning? He goes 8:40. I couldn't believe it. That game breezed by. But if you're a baseball purist, you loved it. It was a old-fashioned pitcher's duel. I think their guy giving up 2 or 3 hits going into the bottom of the 8th, and our guy threw complete game 1-hit shutout. And then we had a lucky break on a check swing call, and we ended up putting up 3 runs after that to have a little bit of breathing room. But last night was just a great game to watch all the way across the board, and sent the fans home happy.
We've said it before in our program that these kids, this league gets the best ball players from their respective schools, perhaps, or what have you, from around the country, and that says a lot for the Northwoods League.
Yeah, absolutely, and every night in, night out, I mean, you got a chance to come in, and we've talked about this numerous times, you got a chance to see guys on the way up with the chance to be on TV, so, easily accessible, get in and, you get a chance to, have the community support something, because, in the summertime, there's not a whole lot else going on. I know there's some semi-pro football, but, that's been our big thing, is get out and see these guys, because you're going to like what you see.
And we can't forget this coach here, and we're going to have to ask you your
Jack
name.
of all trades?
It's Adam Stahl.
Adam, when you're coaching, what's your primary, when you work with these kids, what's your primary job of working with them?
Well, right now it's make sure they don't get picked off at first base. I'm the get back coach, and I'm here to help all of them, whatever I can do to help make things go a little easier for them.
Sort of earning your pedigree into the coaching ranks, in other words, or
I've been around a little bit, but
how long have you been around? This is for the viewers at home who haven't been out here yet.
17 years.
Oh.
So, but these guys have done a great job all year, and like I said, whatever I can do to help them and help the team be successful, I'm here for them.
Yeah, I can see the gray coming through. No wonder you keep a crop short,
Well, John, you and I have talked, and we've talked about things like we're doing here today. We're out at Lola's Coffee House featuring the Bonadonna Frappaccino, and this is part of what the team does, being involved with the community, and so this is kind of a nice thing.
Absolutely, we're always out doing things, and again, that's been our whole thing is we want to get the community to embrace this thing because, again, night in, night out, it's a great product on the field. These are great young men, great role models for kids and families alike.
And what people don't understand is, like in my life, Kenny, he has few obligations, but I have 3 kids. Last night I couldn't make the game. The wife had to just get out of the house and do some shopping. But we're going to be there tonight, and I'm just, the viewers out there, I'm going to bring $20, and that'll give me all the kids all the cotton candy, which can be a bad thing, but everything they can eat. But going into the playoffs here, and then into the championship, and we'll get to the final result here in a minute, Kenny. And is our team going to be intact come postseason?
Yeah, we're going to be in pretty good shape, going in. I don't know what other teams are looking like, but that's why we bring in. We have a lot of position players, and we'll be able to withstand a few things if some guys need to head back. We may be losing Robbie Price, which is a big hit, but we got other guys that can step in and do the job. So going into it, I think we got a plan. Let's clinch it first before we reveal the plan, but I think we got a pretty good plan if we were to make the playoffs pitching wise. And then again, I think I'll take our lineup against anybody.
Well, if I may be so bold, you will tie tonight.
Well, I hope so. You got to go one game at a time. All the old cliches apply here. So, when that happens, and then we can set up a plan and hopefully have some time off for that week to get some guys some rest and get some different guys in there.
Well, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If the Huskies win the championship, there's going to be a little ceremony at home plate. Johnny D's my stylist.
Oh, yeah,
and
let's talk about it.
Yeah, like Bobby said, if we win a championship, will you cut your hair? I said, yes, I will, Bob. So we'll do that for charity and come up with something to do, have that take place. So a little more incentive for you to win the championship, huh?
We got to auction it off. That's the next thing.
Number one clipper guard, just like Adam here, That's right, brother. We're going to go from this to this,
Well, I don't know about that, John.
Give him a hard time. You do these interviews, sometimes they're impromptu, and 17 years. He looks like he's only 21, so it's like, But anyways, that's the whole thing, though. Interviews like this, getting to know the players. The Northwoods League is all about good baseball and good times, and what more can you say about it? And Coach Parra and the staff,
thanks, guys.
I'd like to thank you for having coming on. All right, guys.
Coach.
All right, down at Lola's Coffee House Express on Central Avenue. A great time going on. All the Huskies are here. All the coaches are here, getting involved in the community. And Kenny, tell you what, doesn't get any better than this for pure baseball. And here we are with Huskies play-by-play announcer Joe Michaels out of The Fan. How you doing?
Doing well. The ice cream's pretty good here, too.
All right. Well, we've tried to get you twice on the show, but due to technical difficulties beyond our control, finally we got you here. We're making sure the red light's on, and how has been your time? How has it been with your time with the Huskies?
It's been a great summer. We've seen a lot of growth between the beginning of the season and now. Certainly the first half where the Huskies went 500. A lot of learning, a lot of piecing things together to see how things would go. And once we got to the second half of the season and the gas pedal got pushed, it's been a great experience. You're traveling with guys who honestly believe they can go out and win every day.
Joe, we were talking just a little bit here. Last night the game lasted an hour and 39 minutes.
That is the second shortest game in the 11-year history of the Northwoods League. And I had mentioned on the broadcast as the Huskies were coming up in the 8th inning, if this game goes the way it has, they're going to set the record for the shortest game. And sure enough, the Huskies just start battering hits all over the place, so we end up with the second shortest. But I guess you take that in a win, right?
Let's talk about your background in broadcasting, where you got your start.
I worked in Michigan for, 12, 15 years covering high school sports. I was fortunate to be able to do state finals in baseball, softball, basketball, football. Covered 12 teams in a 5-county area and really got in. And, the neat part was meeting the kids and the families. And that's really carried over with the Huskies. One of my favorite things is when the families are coming in from out of town, getting to visit and find out a little bit about that. I've always kind of been more of community Joe and family-oriented Joe as opposed to the real hardcore jock. But I think they kind of have a way of fitting in together really nicely.
For the viewers out there that see the Crow's Nest up on Wade Stadium, yes, they still use it. That's where you're at.
Way up top, and it's a great view. I tell everybody that's my office. You look out over the left field wall and you got Lake Superior, you've got the Bong Bridge coming over, and then baseball. And I say this all the time, but I thank God every day because I have the greatest job in the world. And who wouldn't like that?
In a nice air-conditioned booth?
Well, it's not air-conditioned, but you can't have everything. What are you going to do?
He's still sweating from the heat that we had over the last couple of weeks.
Johnny?
How hot was it up in the Crow's Nest during this hot streak we've been having?
We opened the door the one day and it was 112 degrees in the booth, and that was, just open the windows, open the door, and thank God we got a breeze coming off the lake that day that cooled it off in there.
Joe, we'll let you go here. How's the ice cream?
The mint chocolate chip is first rate. I hear the Bonadonna frappaccino is highly popular today as well.
And of course, we're out at Lola's Coffee House here at Central Avenue. Don't worry about the construction. Just get a map and find your way here because it's awesome.
There you go.
Well, I tell you what, Joe, though, this is great to see all the Huskies out here. It's great to see the community involvement on behalf of the team and Lola's. And I think, this is a synergy that's going to be built upon over the future years to make the Huskies a success. I think they already are. But we just, for the people, we keep telling people, if you haven't been out there, I can bring the whole family. I got one other kid that's missing today, but we'll be out there tonight, and it's the best value time that you can possibly have.
It really is, and it's more than just for the hardcore baseball fans, because we're going to get those with the Huskies, but this is a group of guys that's out here doing community stuff like this and being social, and to me, there's a game in between the lines, and when the team's out there, you want to go and take it to the other guy, but when you step off the field, there's so much more. It's just one dimension of these men's lives, and to see them expanding like this, and to see the extra things that these guys can do. There are some guys that are really going to make a name for themselves in the future, and not necessarily on the baseball field. Some really smart, heady guys that have a great future in front of them, and I wish them all the best.
Look at the marketing of the Huskies. You got Joey Bonadonna, who I'll give the media credit. They built upon it from last year, and he's sort of a Duluth cultural icon in his short time here. He's Joey Bonadonna, and it's great how the media's played it up, give identity to some of these players, and I think that what we have here is really a cherished sports league and a sports team right here in the Twin Ports,
And
wow!
And we're into, 4 years now of doing this, and if it continues growing at this pace, I think Bobby McCarthy and Craig Smith are putting together something really nice for this community, and I hope it can continue on into the future for the community here in Duluth, but even more importantly, for the young men that are involved in this program and for what it's doing for their futures.
Well said. Joe Michaels, broadcast play-by-play guy for the Duluth Huskies. Before we let you go, we're going to have to ask you to say your final finishing line as you leave the broadcast.
I'm Joe Michaels, rounding third and heading for home.
All right. And that's basically a lot of my Husky moments are listening to you on the radio. You do a great job, man.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure, and I can only thank the people at WEBC who've given me that opportunity, as well as Craig Smith and Bobby McCarthy, who have signed off on that and allowed me to do this, because I truly mean it when I say I have the greatest job in the world.
And then when you're working for KMOX in St. Louis someday, we're gonna say, hey, he was here first.
Hey, if I'm in the major league someday, if it's St. Louis, if it's Toronto, wherever, boy, that'd be something. But
why Toronto?
Why not?
I'm a Rush fan, so they're from Toronto. Just had to ask.
Whatever works, you know. Geddy Lee. Oh yeah, it was my first rock concert when I was in high school.
Oh, really?
Rush.
What
yeah.
tour?
Signals.
Signals. That was my first. Well, that was my first Rush concert.
Where'd you see them?
The Toledo Sports Arena in Toledo, Ohio.
Really? And I saw them right down here at the deck, and I've seen them 5 times since. And all right,
so there you go. Rock on, as they say.
Rush brother. All right.
Thanks, Joe.
You bet. Take care, guys.
Hey, is that what's left of that pig?
Fresh roasted.
Fresh roasted. So how long has this one been cooking?
About 11 hours.
11 hours?
11 hours. Well, wait.
There you That's all you're hanging around here for.
That was outstanding. What a surprise. Thank you, Craig.
You bet.
Craig Smith, General Manager.
Get me off that camera. I'm eating.
This is the second time you've done this year.
Second time. Greg Toon and the boys from Bama Staves and girls put on the pig roast. This is outstanding. It gives us a good turnout on the sports deck and gives them some exposure out here at the ballpark. So we're happy to do it. We're really grateful for them to come out and do what they do.